A week ago, I awoke
Mother?
to find that my mother was missing, and she did not return.
I'm presently on the way to collect my brothers, Mycroft and Sherlock.
You've been into two very empowering women shows, such as Killing Eve and Fleabag. What elements from those shows you were able to bring to a story as Enola's?
I think that all of them had very reckless and cheeky and determined characters. And the way we shot it was very energetic and what I call experiential. It gets you into the head of the character and forces you down the journey with them. So you have to give yourself up to where they are going to take you. So there was a very common camera style, steady cam, following camera, close and wide. You were right inside the character's head.
What did you like the most about playing such an iconic character as Sherlock?
I think with this, it's the most enjoyable part is that Sherlock has been played by so many extraordinary actors before me. And it's just a privilege to be in the same line as those actors. But also because it's been done so well before, that I got a chance to kind of play it with a bit more freedom. And even though we see some of the traditional qualities and traits that you'll find in Sherlock Holmes, there's one specific thing which is very, very different from all those stories that have come before. And that's the fact that he has a younger sister by the name of Enola Holmes. And Enola really brings out Sherlock's kindness. It brings out his empathy. It brings out a part of him which we haven't really seen before. And that for me was a lot of fun to play. I got to access a lot of stuff which was personal for me and apply it to this character and maybe show something which other people hadn't seen before.
Which would you say is the biggest challenge of bringing such an iconic character such as Enola or Sherlock into the screen?
Well, I guess the challenge is to make them feel fresh and see them in a different way. And we see Sherlock Holmes through the eyes of his sister, but also through the prism of his family. And they're a pretty messed up family. So we get the chance to understand more about who Sherlock is by meeting his mother and his brother and see how they work themselves out. They have issues, big issues, psychological issues. They clearly don't feel too good about their mother. And there are secrets there that may yet be told about why Mycroft feels the way he does about her and why Sherlock has such difficulty showing his feelings and emotions. It's a very emotional take on the family and a psychological insight into this very iconic character.
The cast is one of the most marvelous things about this movie. How was working with the actors into these characters and into this story that is so entertaining, but it's also, as you said, so into the characters.
Well, we spend a lot of time in rehearsal. I always spend a lot of time with my actors, just one-on-one, and then together. So we talk through the role, myself and the actor, all the steps and the beats. We talk about how they feel about the other people, and then we bring them together as a family, and they talk about things, though they don't have to tell each other what they think about each other. They still have secrets about each other. It's very important in working with actors. You have to allow them their own secrets.
What do you think the story of Enola has that makes it different from any other detective or mystery solving stories out there?
Well, I found a lot of people, some women have said, I wish I had this film when I was little. They didn't feel that there was a female hero out there. There were some superheroes and ones with magical powers, but not ones that had to rely on their fists and their smarts to survive in the world. So I think that seems to me the most important difference.
I mean, she's coming into an age when we all have this empowering woman on TV and on movies. So what do you think she can add besides this? You're saying that she doesn't have any superpowers.
Yeah.
So what is she going to add?
Well, what she's going to add is there is somebody who's fighting for women's rights before they were even had the right to vote. So it tells people now how hard we all had to fight for voting, for men and women, and that they should take their responsibilities seriously when it comes to voting.
And what would you say it was the hardest part of playing Sherlock?
I would say the hardest part, if anything, was probably the language, because Victorian English, or the language in the script, was very close to contemporary English. But if you fell into rhythms which were natural to contemporary English, it didn't quite fit the dialogue. And so you had to find your own pacing within the Victorian language and still have it make sense. And so that was probably one of the tricky ones, was finding the right intonation and rhythm.
So you had the chance to play already big iconic characters. So what would you say it would be one other big dream to play a character for you?
That is a very good question. I think there's definitely one very obvious answer to that. And I'll probably skip that one because I'm sure you can guess what it is. But otherwise, I mean, there's some great characters from history who I'd love to play. Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great. I'm probably too old for Alexander the Great now. But yeah, maybe from ancient times. There's a lot of characters out there that I'd love to play.
You don't know how to embroider?